Hi, I'm Analyzed Within. My real name is Brandon Birch. I've been playing guitar since October 29th, 2008. I used to play piano like when I was real young. Whenever I was 8 years old, I started playing piano, taking lessons, but then I switched over to guitar in 2008 and I gradually stopped playing piano, and hopefully one day I'll pick that up again because I'd like to use that talent once again. I don't just play guitar, I do other hobbies too. I like photography and videography, and I also like playing video games. The name Analyzed Within came to me in February 2012. I wanted a name that actually meant something, that described me and was really catchy sounding. I went through different names like analytical, analyzed, you know, just different things that were around that analyzed thing, because I just overanalyze a lot of things. Once I came up with the name Analyzed Within, I thought, yeah, we'll do that. And so I checked, and yeah, YouTube, the channel was available. I wanted to make a new YouTube channel. I wanted something more besides the Fireball 100 channel that I had, something that I could have dedicated to just the artist's music. So this really started out as a solo project, not really thinking about making this a band. I just thought, well, I'll just make some videos and do some songs. So I did. I made a few songs, and I posted one that's called Surge. And I never did do a whole playthrough video of it, but I did put something up on SoundCloud. And so I just started making different stuff and not really thinking, I don't know if I want to make an EP or an album, maybe one day. It never was really anything in my mind. I just thought, well, I'll just start releasing little YouTube videos. How would I describe my style? I would say just generally Christian metal. That's just how I would just say it to anybody that just asks, what is your style? Christian metal. That just sums it all up. I mean, I like different kinds of Christian metal, like the progressive kind, of like the metalcore, gent, even though that's not really a style, that's just a way of picking the note. So that actually puts me in a lot of different kinds of bands, that names that I like Becoming the Archetype, Demon Hunter. Paul Wardingham, he's just an instrumental guitarist, you know, a shred guitarist. So, but I really started out as a kid listening to contemporary Christian, which was like Stephen Curtis Chapman, Michael W. Smith, Jeremy Camp, those kinds, and those are really my favorites of old. You know, that's just what I grew up as, and hearing Stephen Curtis Chapman sing Live Out Loud, and I was thinking, yeah, man, that is real heavy music. I was like, dude, I actually eventually came across there's like a couple of compilation CDs, you know, where you got a bunch of artists and just all featured on there. Skillet, their song Comatose was on there, and I listened to that and I was like, that is awesome. So it was Skillet, and then it went to Red, 1,000 Foot Crutch, just all those different. I was like, wow, these are cool. And I remember saying Red is as heaviest as I'll ever get, and now I like listening to Becoming the Archetype sometimes. Forming a band was not anything I ever really thought about. I just thought, this is a solo project and I'll just keep it instrumental, like people like Creekmaster and Wide Cave. But then I moved closer to the area I grew up in as a little kid, and that's where most of my friends and family are. So I just, at a family reunion one time, met my cousin again after so many years, and I was talking to him about my solo project and saying, you know, it'd be kind of cool if I could find somebody that screamed or something that could, you know, maybe help me with my stuff. He said, oh, I can scream, and I was like, seriously? Wow. So from there, it just escalated, and we just got together in my projects, and I would call him an official member of Analyzed Within now. We began lyric writing together, and so in our single Living in the Last Days, even though I did write most of the lyrics, he had a big part in verse 2, and then, like, you know, in the other parts we just kind of collaborated in the song. So our lyric writing is both me and him. So when are you going to release this music, you're asking? Okay. Alright, so as of this video recording, the mix is there at the studio. The guys are, you know, working on that for the single. We hope to have the single out by Christmas of 2012. I don't know about the rest of the EP. The EP is called Living in the Last Days. We're releasing the single just to give you the idea of the gist of the EP, and it's kind of cool to release a single. Though this EP is kind of different. It's kind of dark all the way through, sort of, but the lyrics are very inspiring and, you know, very God-centered. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I've been releasing stuff on Facebook, samples from my SoundCloud. I just wanted people to know that I'm actually working on the album, even though it doesn't feel like I am if I don't really say much on there. So I just put a bunch of things that I'm working on. Some of it will make it to the EP, some of it won't. I've even posted some samples and I look back and I was like, well, I've changed that, can't do that now. So what does my music sound like? That's kind of what I've been asked before, besides what kind of style do you play? You know, they say, well, what would you compare yourself to? Okay, well, there's so many influences, it's hard to know exactly. I know I sometimes sound like the band Red. I mean, it's my own style, it's different. It's got a mix of metalcore, progressive metal. My main instrument I use, my guitar, is my Jackson SL SMG. It's actually a soloist guitar, but I've down-tuned it to drop A. Sometimes I go down to drop A flat or go back up to drop B flat. It just depends on the song or depends on what I want to do. Even one song I was trying out, it's drop A, but the low A is down tuned to G flat, just like the second string on there. So it's really weird, but it's kind of cool. It gives me different ideas of how I can play things. So I'm just kind of experimenting with different tunings. I actually really want an 8 string or a 7 string, either one. It just depends on what I decide for in the end, but you know, it's just, you know, budget-wise, it's not possible right now. But anyway, I just worked with what I have. That Jackson is working well. It's got a good warm tone for that low-tuned stuff that I like to use. So speaking of tones, where do I get my tone? I use Pod Farm. I know, guys, about Impulses. I've heard of Impulses, but my little laptop will not handle. I've already tried. It does not have a fast enough processor, and with all the things that I do with the laptop, gaming, video editing, the laptop just cannot handle it. So, sorry. I use Pod Farm, not Impulses. Not right now, anyway. My interface is a Line 6 GX. I won that in a little competition on a guitar site, so that was cool. Talking about actually releasing the music, there's a studio that is going to be recording the vocals. We've already recorded vocals for the single, and we hope it went well. It was our very first time recording, and actually the guy that recorded us was just starting out, so he was new to it as well. But hey, we got to record it for free, and this is our first time. We have no money, me and my cousin. You know, this was really a blessing from God for us. And then there's another studio that is even more local than where we went to go record the vocals, that is going to be doing the mixing and mastering. And I've already talked to the guy that's doing the mixing, so I trust him, and his work is phenomenal on their album, and all that. It is really good. I record the guitars and I arrange things, you know, like I have some free VSTs, you know, for synth stuff, and I arrange like drums, you know, and bass or whatever. I'm trying to make sure I design a lot of these things for like the cover art and everything. I did do the cover art for the upcoming EP. I'm just trying to be as, you know, money efficient as possible with the very little budget that I have, and so it actually works out. You know, I don't have to hire somebody to really, you know, make a really awesome looking picture. It could be something simple that I can do myself, so I'm happy with that. I have a vision for this EP and for this whole band, this future band. It's just me and my cousin right now, my vocalist, which, you know, we both have the same vision, and I would hope that my whole band has the same vision, is to glorify God. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have fun, but I don't want to just go, you know, on tour all the time and get away from church. Tours are okay, I just don't want to be touring all the time, because I like being, you know, with a local church and being with the same body of people, and I like to have that fellowship. I don't want to get away from that. I want our lyrics to not be vague. I know vague lyrics, not necessarily a bad thing, and it's okay to make a vague sounding song. Maybe you want it to apply to different things, but my vision, I just want people to know exactly what I'm talking about. without really having to think much about it. So it's like the lyrics are like really straightforward. I like that style. I just want you to know what I'm talking about in the songs, and if you don't really know what I'm talking about, I don't ever like that feeling. Whenever I'm listening to a song, I want the message to mean something to me. After this EP, we're not going to be as heavy, at least for the next project. That's what I plan. Yeah, I mean, we can be heavy, but I want to do something more worshipful after this. This is the Living in the Last Days, so it's kind of dark, and it's got a lot of screaming in it probably. But the next one, I want us to have, you know, more centered around the worship thing. I started out saying something kind of like Skillet, you know, that kind of worship. That's kind of heavy, but it could also be kind of a worship thing. It can make it on the radio. So I'm thinking maybe head toward that. But if I have an 8th string by then, it'll still be heavy, but it'll be more worshipful. You know what I mean? Like, the message is worshipful, and it is like very personal. I have that, and I have ideas going through my head of things that I want to. I'd be like, I make a song where I'm actually talking to God, you know, and I just want it to be a very personal album. So that's my future for sometime in the future after this EP. There is a deeper meaning of Analyzed Within, something that I've not really got into, and this is the meaning of this whole video. Analyzed Within means more than I'm an analytical person, I overanalyze things. That's true, but without me realizing it at first, I created a name that means so much more. It means, yes, I analyze information within me a lot. That information is analyzed within, but since I have the Holy Spirit inside of me, meaning I believe in God, not just God, but Jesus. I believe He saved my soul, and He's coming back to take us all home. I'm analyzed within because He's inside me, and He keeps me in check and tells me when I'm wrong, and basically helps me live my life the way He would have me to, because, well, He loved me and the whole world so much. Why would He love me? And why would He love anybody? We messed it up. Well, yeah, but that's how much He loves His creation. And, well, Analyzed Within goes a lot deeper that way. I'm analyzed within. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty cool making it. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below in the comments section, and I'll get back to you. Any questions at all, you know, whatever you have, I'll try to be there and answer for you. Thanks.